Hello and welcome. Silrace here with Mechwarrior Online, and this is some community warfare footage you are going to see here. I wanted to show some community warfare gameplay. I haven't showed too much of it, but I don't really want to make it half an hour video for you to like go through and listen through and whatnot. So I chopped a piece of some community warfare footage where I play a Hellbringer with large lasers. And this is from the very beginning of this particular defense game here on Boreal Vault. And yeah, I know it is extended range clan large laser. Clans can only mount clan weapons and they can only mount extended range lasers, alright? So it is Hellbringer with large lasers. Not a Hellbringer with clan extended range large lasers, because that takes forever to say and it is very weird anyways. Alright, so when you are playing defense as clans against the inner sphere, you basically roll dice, like every single time. It's like, are they going to light mech rush us or not? And if they are not light mech rushing you and you bring out that streak crow or whatever have you for dealing with light mechs, and you end up in a long range fight, then you are kind of screwed. But if you bring out a mech like this, which is intended for those longer range fights, such as this one here with 4 large lasers on it, then you get that light mech rush, and you are kind of screwed as well. So it is always a dice roll, and typically when we are playing defense, someone brings something which is really good against light mechs, whether that is the street crow, even though then you know have one worse mech for a little while until the fighting gets there. The other nice thing about defense though, and actually doing the whole light mech, well, anti-light mech thing when you are defending, is that opponents have to come to you. Even if they do it with light mechs or big heavy things, eventually they will have to come to you to destroy the generators. So you are kind of okay-ish to bring a close range mech, even though the opponents are all in long range mechs. So yeah, there is that. And I'm just trying to get some you know, pot shots in at further ranges on stuff. However, the main reason for me to hang around here is to use the most OP item in the game, and that is the ECM. To give ECM cover for my teammates who happen to be around here. There is now 2 Hellbringers on this rock here, so I could technically move elsewhere, but yeah. So 4 large lasers on a Hellbringer is very much about the long range poke. It is not very awesome alpha damage because of the long burn duration. It is really difficult to keep like the lasers on one location for a long time to create any sort of pinpoint damage. It is very much about supporting your team from the rear with, you know, shredding and sharing armor of targets before they close in, hopefully, and then letting the rest of your team annihilate them once they get close by. So there is that. This build is, for me personally, basically a full-blown community warfare build. It's like I don't see a real reason to bring this into the public games at all, because it is not very good in, well, shorter range engagements, and like not overly good. And I have afterwards shied quite a bit away from this build, even for community warfare. It's like, it's not just something I tried a whole bunch to see if it can be made to work in community warfare, and to an extent it is quite viable. And here we see the, well, opponents finally starting to push in, and things are getting to the closer ranges where I really don't want to fight with this particular setup. So obviously I am forced to do so to some extent. I'm still doing some scouting here because there is lots of things at the back, and I'm poking at those things at the back because, well, they are still a little bit of a distance away, right? So I can try to pick apart their support mechs as a support mech myself, and letting the closer range, the brawler teammates deal with the guys who have made, well, themselves closer to the actual generators. The other thing about firing at those guys at the rear, and of course this is the other thing, like when you are playing as an organized team, you are supposed to scout. I happen to be the only one, well, one of the two mechs who happen to be out here still, so I poke around to look at the gate, the other gate, a lot, to see if there is actually anyone trying to make their way or sneak through that gate to go down the other alley to the other generator. But as I was saying, the other reason to shoot at these guys who are at the back here is to make them feel a little bit threatened at least. So they don't actually push in, which means their forces are separate. There was that one set of hostiles who pushed down the little funnel there, and then there are these guys at the back. That means two different groups of hostiles, meaning we can focus one group at a time, which is always preferential to begin with. You don't wanna bring, like, as long as you can get take numeric advantage, then you should. And okay, rest of the team started pushing out to get rid of everyone from the gate, and of course at this point let's pull back, right? Let's consolidate forces, get this one location again, and then start mowing down the next also, because we destroyed 11 mechs, alright? That means they are basically waiting for reinforcements, and then there will be a second push coming in. So, of course there is now, there are still, essentially those are the first few reinforcements from the previous wave, and there we go. Someone is pushing in from the other funnel. And that's what I've been looking for here as well. It's like, now I just need to know, is it really just one locust, or is there more of them coming through? If there are more coming through, then need to inform the team. If there isn't, well, yeah. Also, I am on voice comms when I play this, but sometimes, well, it is easier to people to realize when something should be done when you actually type it out. So it pops up on the screen. This is something I have realized ages ago in other games already. So it just blinks something on the screen and people, okay. Even though they might be busy, well, shooting at stuff and other things, so they might not hear the call or whatnot on the voice comms. This is obviously when you are on voice comms but don't play together like every day of the week. So there is some confusions as well. Okay, but folks are being under the ECM bubble, the most overpowered piece of equipment in the game. So yeah. So I guess that one locust got blown to bits. At least it has vanished, and I didn't see it getting blown to bits. But no, there is more things, and this is something I never understand. It's like, why would you come in alone when your teammates are still at the far back there? But that's fine. And then there is red smoke, which is people essentially spending C-bills for damage. So yeah. Without having to actually shoot at your enemies, you can deal damage to them, you just need to spend some C-bills. Or you can do it with real money as well. Talk about pay to win. Anyway, let's move on from that particular argument. So, there is more reinforcements now there. At least there should be all the reinforcements having come down. And I am kind of in pieces here, as you can tell. So, well, I am not entirely in pieces, but my armor has taken quite a pounding. But we will absolutely push in and help the team do stuff. Because when you are defending, you should try and get the most out of your mech every single time, as much as possible, before you end up being blown apart. If nothing else, you can body block something and try to make it take longer for them to get to the generator. that's essentially it. And also, as you can see, I am trying to twist my right side to the enemy here to try and protect that, well, left side torso. Because that's where majority of my guns are, that's where the ECM is. So, of course, that is harder to do with a build using large lasers because of the long burn duration. So if I want to do damage, I have to expose that left side torso. Part of the issue with using lasers. But, oh well. Oh, little things. Hello, hello. And that's about it. Bring it, boys. It's a spider even. Cool. And now I am pretty much open everywhere. And I should retreat, but I don't have a good retreat path. So I might just as well die in a glorious blaze. So this mech is pretty much totaled by now. Thank you very, very much for watching. And hopefully this was enjoyable watch.
Your turn.